Hello everybody, my name is QBM, and for some reason I decided I should make another tutorial YouTube ad revenue. So let's get this started. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and play what I have for you guys, and then I can go over each of the individual elements. Okay, so right now we're not going to be focusing on the sound design, we're really just going to be focusing on the arrangement of the drop. Because the sound design, that's up to you on what you want to do, any melodies, stuff like that, that's all up to you. That's where your creative influence comes in. Of course you can do that with the arrangement as well, but right now this tutorial is just to show you how to do that sort of thing. So let's start off with the drums. Just basically, it's just some kick and a snare with a little bit of hi-hats in there. Gotta add that little fill at the end. I mean, obviously you don't have to, all this is just suggestion, but I really like adding those little fills at the end. And then here is the exact same pattern, except we start to build up towards the end to create tension for the second part of the drop. It's not really much, it's just a little bit of enough to let you know that, oh yeah, it's rising again. Now we have some hi-hats. We have our closed hi-hat. Now the samples that you use for your drums don't really matter, I'm just talking about how I arrange them. Now we have a ride, and then we have a crash on the downbeat, and then we have one more crash right before the end of the pattern, just to represent some actual symbols there. Now let's go into the sound design and talk about our basses. Okay, nope, not right there. So, I just used presets for this. I didn't feel like going through and making a whole bunch of sounds from scratch, just that way it wouldn't really matter anyway. So I'm just going to show you guys what I did. One of these is a Virtual Riot preset, I believe it is this one. Yes, I think so. It used to be routed to this LFO, the whole growl knob. Oh, let's load it. But I moved it to a macro so that way I could control it better, because I really like automation clips over LFOs most of the time. So this is that right there. Let's see, we just got to enable these automation clips. So this right here is our growl envelope. This is the note for the bass, which I believe we are in C at the moment, and this is our pitch envelope. I don't know how much it's going up by, but that doesn't really matter since we have this sub in here. Usually I do a separate sub unless I'm doing a lot of pitch modulation, and it just gets so hectic keeping the sub in the same key that I just usually put it into 0. And of course all the basses and everything you hear is sidechained. If I turn the drums back on, you'll be able to hear that. All sidechained. Now our second bass right here, I believe is here it is. I believe it's a Cyclops preset. Yep. Okay, so this automation clip right here is controlling the rate of the LFO in here. This is a low pass filter, this blue one right down here under it. And we're just having a basic pattern with the rate of the LFO, and then when it comes to the second half of the drop, it's the same bass except I automate a couple of macros which control the timbre. Now one last important thing that I like to do is I have a reverb channel on the bass, mixer insert, with just an absolute ridiculous amount of reverb, and I automate that in usually when it's being low pass, so it sounds like, so the low pass, which removes the high ends, makes it just sound like it's coming in from the sides, and the reverb, which gives it a lot more stereo width, really helps with that. I love doing that with these kinds of basses. also bring the reverb back up to fade the bass back out when it comes back to that little build section at the end. Let's change my buffer size. Okay, let's see. Let's hope it didn't fuck everything up. Nope, seems good. Okay. Now, lastly, we have some background elements here. And these are just to fill in the space. If we mute this stuff, you'll really notice how much of a difference it makes. And then this is just the background elements on their own. I'm also going to add in the drums just to keep some time. And then this right here is just a shitty evil laugh sound effect. You can use any vocal sound effect, a drum fill, really doesn't matter. I just put that there for the purposes of the video. So that's how you do it. If you guys have any questions about how I did something, how I mixed it, anything that I used, a lot of these samples that I used, anything at all, you leave it down in the comments and let me know what you want to see next time. I've been QBM, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
What is this, chat? Subscribe to QBM? Okay, well I guess that counts then.